Hello guys, and welcome to my first locals recording video. I'm still getting used to the setup here. It's hard to tell when I was setting up the camera, but you can't really fully see my dawn, but I don't think it's going to be the biggest problem. So I got a couple videos for you guys today. Today I decided I wanted to bring only leaders that couldn't attack. So I got some games in with my buddies on Rebecca and Vegapunk. For longtime fans of the stream, you'll know how much I hype up Vegapunk all the time. But with the new Rebecca stuff coming out in 10, in OP10 that just recently got announced, I wanted to get some games in with Vegapunk, or with Rebecca. So, turn 1, we lost the die roll, so we are going first. I leader affected into an Orlumbus. My thought process here is I kept this hand because I had 8 cost Aramaki, which is just super sick, because almost everything he plays is, the biggest thing he plays is a 4 cost, because this guy isn't playing the dragon. I got to see his deck list, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. So I valued the 8 cost because I would only have to do -1 on pretty much anything to be able to use Aramaki's effect. So yeah. And then with Orlumbus, combo between Orlumbus, 3-cost Kyros, Stage, and Aramaki just pretty much means I can get rid of anything he plays. So he plays out 2 little chumpies, Nami searches, and then does the little guy. I will go here. I'll take the... Oh, I'm taking the Rebecca. I guess I take the Rebecca here because I don't really have anything else to do this turn. So I think my thought process is just more searching is better. Here, do I take Patchwork? Patchwork is interesting because it guarantees me being able to, because I think I have a Leo in hand this game. It guarantees me being able to get rid of his 3-cost Chopper when it hits the board. So I pass here with 1 down open. I don't have a Leo, but I guess I am just kind of betting on seeing one. So yeah, I'm not really sure how this is gonna turn out, but I have a pretty okay hand. We can see. I'm here. I am reading this. I've never sleeved Rebecca before, and so I took this deck list off of something that I saw that I liked. If I found it interesting, I really liked the Aramaki. So here he's swinging 5 or 6 because he has 1 on leader. I just take here because I don't really want to give him a 2K. I find another Rebecca. I feel like I'm going to probably be playing that next turn. Oop, nope, I counter with it. I counter with 2 1Ks because I don't think I even have a 2K in hand. So we are at 5 Dawn here. I think this is when we finally just leader effect and establish the Orlumbus and just know that we're going to take some hits next turn. Takes the 2K because we know we're going to get hit with a 6. And then slams down the Orlumbus. Again, I think the idea with Orlumbus here is just if I can get it to stick and he doesn't play any removal, I just literally don't have to. I don't have to turn this Orlumbus sideways, and he just has no way of dealing with it. So I think that's my thought process here. And then I think I just passed it. Yeah, it looks like he's untapping. So we got a pretty big hand. That is the nature. Of just, not just taking life and, being able to search pretty much every turn. I do think this might have been a game where I don't think I ever searched with over 6 cards in hand, but I might have accidentally once because again, I'm relatively new to Rebecca, so I might have not counted the cards in my hand one time and accidentally searched with 7 in hand, but I don't think I did. Especially because he's hitting me so often. So I think he goes 6 here, plays out the 3-cost guy, and then goes 6 again. I think I remember this game. I think he places down this 1-cost 3K on turn 2, I think, or turn 1 or 2, and he just never turns it sideways. I think the whole game he didn't attach a Dawn to it, which was a little bit not a bummer because I got to exploit it a little bit, but I was just expecting it. There were a couple turns where I was worried about it. So he's gonna go a big 6 here. I think that's a 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe a 7 here. We got the third Rebecca, and it looks like we have a gecko in hand. So I think we're gonna counter out with some of these Rebeccas, or we take it. I think that was a misplay, if I'm being honest. I think we should have countered with the Rebecca so that we could play the gecko this turn. Or maybe my plan is to play, because I think we're on... Oh, are we only on 7 Dawn here? I think we're only on 7 Dawn here. So I think maybe that's why I did that. Yeah, it looks like we're only at 7 here. So maybe the play is to just play out. So we don't have a very full trash yet. Oh, almost dropped my whole hand. Don't tell anyone, it was a secret. So I'm not really sure what I should do here. It looks like we're going to look through trash. So maybe we're playing a Rebecca this turn. And just knowing that next turn we can stabilize. I'm not 100% sure. I think that might be the play. But again, I don't really see my hand very well. Because we're not at 8, are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe we go for board here. Maybe we use the 4-cost event. But we can't 4-cost event, and it does look like we're gonna Becca maybe. Or maybe we just 7-cost Luffy. Oh, we don't have stage. That is kind of rough. Not having stage in this, not in just this matchup, but just in general in this deck doesn't feel great. This deck list runs a 2 of, but in almost every game I did end up seeing it. It was just kind of a little late sometimes. So yeah, I'm coming to the conclusion that with 7 Dawn in this deck really kind of sucks. What do we do here? Yeah, this might be one of the turns where I accidentally leader effect with more than 6 cards in hand. Oops, accidentally cheating. Because you don't read the cards. Okay, so it does look like we're going to turn this Orlumbus sideways. We're going to go 5 and a 4. I think he gives us a 2K. Yeah. We go 4 for Rebecca. Rebecca is going to get us back a Sabo. And then using Rebecca effects to play out... Do we end up playing anything out? Do we play the 2K out? I think it would be kind of a bad play to... Oh, well. I was about to say, I think it would be a bad play to play out the 2K with this many cards in hand. Or with this, board. But, oh, we're going to swing. So I do think this is a turn where we accidentally leader effect with more than 6 cards in hand. Yeah, we do. Don't tell anyone. Reading the cards, explain the cards. Sadly, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we had 9 cards in hand and used leader effect. So, don't tell anyone. Sometimes people make mistakes, and it's the first time they've sleeved the deck, and they haven't actually read the card. They just know vaguely what the leader does. So that's kind of embarrassing. Maybe you got a little bit too much card advantage in this game, and maybe that's why I won. But who knows? If I couldn't have done that, I just would have swung 1 higher into what's his name? The rush, the 3-cost 4K rush animal. So this turn's a little bit scary. We have 2 life. We do have an absolute grip of cards in hand. So, we're not super in danger, but he also is Zooro getting to a higher number of Dawn is a little bit scary because he can play out rushers. So it does look like we're going to go 2K, 1K. I think that's smart. Filling up your trash for the gecko is always good. I did feel like this deck was a little bit bricky, but it also could have just been my draws. So he's going to go another 7. I think yeah, okay. It looks like we're going to block. So he has 4 Dawn. So does he, I think he might Zooro again. Yeah. Zooro swings another 7 and then swings 6 with leader. So another 7, I think we take, and it's a Stussy. That's pretty bad. And then a 6. Do we have a 2K in hand, or are we going to go double 1s? We go with double 1s here to stay off of 0 life. See, this is the thing, though. We've survived the early game against Zooro, and now we're just going to be able to establish our big blockers, like our Aramaki, or we're going to play 7 costs. I think that would be a misplay, but who knows. The thing is, he also didn't swing into our Barto. He could have just turned that 1 cost sideways and swung 3 into 3, which I don't think he saw. He also could have swung into our Lumbus. I think there were quite a few misplays here. I do think we have 6 cards in hand, so I do think this one's legal. Hopefully. Maybe not, but... So here's where we're going to go. Aramaki. Aramaki feels really good in this deck. I mean, it just feels really, really good. It's at a 2 over right now. I kind of want to put it at a 3. So we are going to Orlumbus effect, mill 2. We have to KO the Rebecca. There we go. And so that's minus a bunch. So now we're going to use Aramaki. I think we're going to trash the Stussy here. Oop, I think that was a misplay. I think we should trash the Stussy, but that's okay. Getting rid of that, bringing him up to 11. And then we're going to go 5 into 4. I think at this point he's really dwindling in hand size. So I'm kind of like, hey, you gave me 2 2Ks last turn. You're going to give me another one. Just kind of begging the question. And I think he does. I can't remember exactly, but I think he gives us another 2K here. He doesn't. Okay. So now we've dwindled his board down quite a bit, and we have 2 blockers. Granted, we only have 1K counter power in hand, but I think we're going to take one of these and then block the other 2, I think is the idea. Because we know that we've bottom decked one of his Zoros, the other one's on the board. So it's like, do you have another one? Do you have a Kid and Killer? It's kind of like, waiting, you know what I mean? It could also be, again, I know this deck list. This is my buddy. He doesn't play 8 cost dragon, so I wasn't scared of that, which is a nice thing to not be scared of. Which is another reason I think we actually didn't need that 4 cost event, but I mostly kept the hand because of the Aramaki. But the 4 cost event is quite good into pretty much everything other than Zooro, because it lets you pop a 6 cost after like turn 3 or 4. And then with right now I'm playing the Dressrosa event that gives you -3 or gives something -3. But I switched that to Tempest Kicks once I got them, because I didn't have them, and then when I got to the next locals after I did this one, after I did this tournament, I had another one that day, and I picked up a playset. So it looks like we block out of the first one, take the second, and then he doesn't have another rush. So I was kind of expecting an 8K from Kid and Killer, and then I would have been able to block 1K out of it. And I think here is where we start to really be able to stabilize. Because I think we can Moria, Rebecca, use the 4 cost of... No, we can't use the 4 cost event. Oh, you can use Leo to pop something. We can use Aramaki to pop something. So we can use event to -3 on something, or Lumbus to -4 on something. And then Gecko to bring back... So we do leader effect here. I'm not sure if we did that illegally again. Okay, so we're not going to go minus on something. Interesting. With the event, at least. I think we're betting on the fact that we can... Oh, you know what it is? I think we have a one-legged toy soldier reading the card. I think the opponent questioned what this was. So I think I was coming to the conclusion that there is a way to do this, but it's going to have to be in a little bit of a weird order. Because I think what we have to do here is... I think the correct play line here is... Oh, I KO Orlumbus himself, because it doesn't say another Dressrosa character. It just says KO a Dressrosa character. I don't think it says other than. Let's see how many times I can accidentally cheat in this game. But I think it says just KO a Dressrosa character, so you can KO Orlumbus himself. So then I will Rebecca into one-legged toy soldier. And that's going to give me the -3 I need to pop something else. And we will get back a 2K with her. And then I knew I had this. So I actually could have done... I could have done this playline and popped the Kyros and rested my leader as well and kept the Orlumbus, which I do think is a better playline. Oh, but I would have needed to play over the Orlumbus anyway. So... never mind. This is just as good. So I pop the other one. Then I use Aramaki's effect to go up, and I don't swing with Aramaki. There was actually a game at the tournament I wasn't able to record because they've had some problems with recording at the other locals that I went to that day. But I didn't end up swinging with him, but in that game, I actually lost the game because I swung with the Aramaki, and there was no reason to swing. I would have won. I would have been okay if I had. I swung into a wiper, a 7,000 power wiper. I swung 11 into 7, and I was like, oh, I'll just get this, and then I'll have one blocker and it'll be okay. But even if I didn't, I had enough 2Ks and I had 2 blockers. So there was no way that he could have gotten me anyway if I left the blocker up and his other character active, or his other character alive. I would have survived, and in this situation I didn't because he was able to counter out of it. It took every card in hand, but then he just attached Dawn and won. So this is a really cool tech card in Zooro. It gets him back his Rush Zors. It gets him back his 3-cost Choppers as well, which is just really sick. This Utsa card from 01, I think... it's a little bit bricky because I don't think it has counter, but it's a pretty cool card that it actually definitely got a game off of me. I don't know if I recorded that one, but it definitely got a game off me because I just wasn't expecting it, and I was like, oh, I've dealt with all of his choppers. I don't have to think about them, or I dealt with 2 of them, and the likelihood of him seeing another was relatively low. And then he just brought one back from the trash with Utsa, and then just was able to kind of deal with me. The one thing I do really like about this deck is, if you'll notice, the Zooro still has 5 life. It's just such a control deck. Like I'm just sitting here and never having to actually swing into him. I'm just gonna deal with his board over and over again until he runs out of gas. Just getting rid of his his Rush Zoros and his choppers kind of constantly. But yeah. We were talking about a little bit of math. I did math wrong here because I was like, you should have that should have cost 8 Dawn, right? And then I was like, oh wait, 4 + 3 is 7, not 8. So that's what we were talking about here. But we're feeling pretty okay because we know that he can only swing. Oh, so he does turn this. Oh no, what is he doing? So he's gonna go 7 at life. So I think this is just. I think you just block with Rebecca. I think we're going to block with Rebecca because we know we have a Gecko in hand and we kind of want the Rebecca in trash anyway. So he's going 8 here, so it's not a free block. So I block. So I was like, I was going to block with that, and then I was like, wait a minute, actually, that doesn't make any sense. I'll just block with Rebecca because now that he doesn't have any Dawn on the other one. As we were talking about that, I was like, I didn't actually declare it. I'm sorry. I didn't declare it. My hand never left the card. And then, I think I'm thinking like, oh, 8, so he can't attach Dawn and swing with the other guy. So I'm not sure if I block here or if I just 2K. I think I block with the Rebecca to free up space. Yeah, I think that's the correct play. Restand, and then I can go -3 on the Utsa, or maybe I go -3 on the other thing, on the chopper. I can swing 5 into 3 with the Kyros, and then I can actually play over the Kyros and get him back again with Rebecca, which I think is what we do here. So I think we go -3, and then I think this might be where we use the event, where we use the 1-cost event. I think that would be the play. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go -3 on, I think, a chopper. I think we have to do that first. Come on, sequencing. So we're going to go 5 and a 3. And I think at this point he has like 2 cards in hand, so he just has to kind of take it. Okay. What are we going to do now? So now I think we use the 1-cost event. 1-cost event on... I think we go chopper here, make him a 0. And then we can use one-legged toy soldier to make the other one a 1. And then... So we'll use Aramaki effect to trash the 4-cost event that I've been holding since turn 1. Since turn 0 was my first draw. So bottom decking that, I think that's a better target to bottom deck than the Utsa, because now there's no way he's going to be able to get that back. So I use the effect, -3 on Utsa, so it's a 1-cost. Now we're going to be able to Gecko back those 2 cards, the Rebecca and the 2-cost guy again, and playing over the Kyros. I think that's what we should do. Or do we have a Kyros in hand? Let me check. I think we're checking if we have a Kyros in hand. We don't. So I think we should get back... We get back a Kyros and then play one, because we don't have one in hand. So he's going to go back. It's going to go over this one. And then we're going to mill 1, pop the Utsa. This is looking solid. Excuse me moving around. And then we're going to go 9 at life. And then, do we go 11 at life here? I don't think we do. I think we use leader effect again. I don't know if that one was legal or not. That I think it was. I think this is the 7th card in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's 7. Oh my gosh. I kind of feel bad. Like really bad. But that's what happens when you don't read your cards. So we've gotten quite a few 2Ks back into hand. So yeah, that was the 7th card. So that one was legal. So I don't feel bad about that one. But yeah, that's the other reason why Aramaki's really good, because he lets you trash down to that actual, the 6 that you're allowed to have. So for leader effect to go up to the 7th. So now we pass and we're just kind of saying, hey, like I have 2 blockers, a grip of 2Ks in hand, and you have 3 attacks. And they're all weenies. We do know he has 1 Rush Zooro. Okay, so he plays... Ooh, excuse me. He plays down the chopper. And this might be a turn that he whiffs. Which I think once he whiffed this... If this is the one he whiffed, then I think... And it kind of looks like he whiffed. I can't see everything, but I think he whiffed. Yeah, so once he whiffed on this, I was pretty confident in just the rest of the game with a board state of 2 Geckos, an Aramaki, and a Kyros. Against Zooro, those are all just un-KOable. You know what I mean? You can't really swing into any of them, especially because he hasn't seen a single chopper blocker all game, which is just really unlucky. Like really, really unlucky. I'm not sure if he does see a chopper blocker. I'm not 100% sure if he runs it. This is us receiving our prizing. And so now I don't have a real great way of dealing with the board. Other than, see, this is pretty good. So now I do have the 7-cost in hand. So I'm going to slam down the 7-cost. It can attack actives. So I'm going to go 7 into 5. Because he can attack actives and Quarter Coliseum. So we go 7 into 5. If he defends out of it, we still have the event to lower it and then KO it. Okay, nice. So now we don't have to use the events. I think we will... I'm not sure how many cards are left in deck. I think we should restand Luffy and swing into one of the other characters. I think. yeah, so I'm going to use Aramaki effect here, trash this, bottom deck that, so now he doesn't have that larger swing, so now he's just left with Nami. And then I think what we do here is we will leader effect, I think legally, yes, let's go. We're finally playing the deck as it should be played. Never mind, I don't know why I rested one. I rested one and then didn't use leader effect. Okay. So we go 6, he takes, we go 9, he takes, we go 9, he takes, and we are going to Luffy effect and then slam into the Nami, which I think just pretty much guarantees the win here, because he's only going to have maximum of 2 attacks, because we do know he has the Rush Zoro in hand, but we have a bunch of 2Ks, so I bottom deck and then swing into the Nami here. And then we're just kind of like, cool, pass with an Aramaki up, so we can block one of them, and then we have, it looks like 3 2Ks and a 1K. So we're feeling pretty okay. I think this was kind of where I was sitting there and just going, okay, now we just have to go through the motions of winning next turn. This was me showing my my buddy next to me my hand and just going, oh, this seems pretty good. This seems pretty good. Cannot complain much about that. So I think our opponent is just kind of sitting here, really thinking about this turn to see if he has any way out of this game, and I think the answer is no. This is when I realized I've left the +3 on Aramaki, even though he is not +3. I really do think, unless you're feeling really safe, you shouldn't, or you know that they're going to be able to remove it the next turn, like you saw them search up a red rock, or you saw, you're playing against Lucci or something, and you want to get the 8K or the 11K swing value out of the Aramaki. I think you just never turn it sideways. I think every time I've turned it sideways, I've just felt bad about it. Having an 8K blocker is just really, really sick. I'm not sure if there's any way out of this for my opponent, because even with so he plays down the Brook, gives 2 Dawn to leader. I think I'm explaining that. I don't think he realized that. Yeah, I remember this. I go, that should give 2 rested Dawn. He goes like, oh yeah. But I'm not sure what else he can do. I think what he ends up playing here is the Rush Animal guy. Oh, nope. Chopper into a 2K. And that's what I knew I just had one. Because the thing I was also kind of a little bit scared of was Diablo Jam, but he just didn't see it. So that's nice. When I saw him play on the 2K, though, I was like, oh, we just win next turn. Because there's no, if you're playing down a 2K, I'm just going to, I have, essentially 2 9Ks and an 11K to just swing into your life. He did play the Hiking Bear rested because he forgot that the Antler Chopper doesn't play rested. So I think he swings 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which we had perfect counter for, so we didn't even have to block with Aramaki. So we have counter for that, we get rid of it, and we restand. And I think we just go, I do restand the Luffy here, but we correct it momentarily. I forgot. And then my opponent points it out and he goes, oh, you restood the Luffy. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Because I think I might try to swing with the Luffy. And then we realized that it was, yeah, see, he points. And I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, no, I restood it. And then I left it active. And then he was like, no, you swung into the Nami. And I was like, oh, you're right. So we'll solve that in this for a second. And then I was like, oh, was it rested? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then and then he points to the Nami, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And I go, oh, sorry. So shouts out to this guy because he's very nice. So he rad beams out of the first 9. He rad beams in 1Ks. And then I just say, okay, 9 again. And then I think he takes, then we just go 18. And that's game. So yeah, hope you guys liked it. I'll be posting a couple of these. I think I got 3 or 4 games. I wanted to have more, but it happens. So yeah, I'll be posting a couple more. So stay tuned. Thanks so much.
Where's his dick, dude?